Style Undefined.
When I came out here, I was like, how's a guy that hates the cold gonna deal with being alone in Alaska during wintertime? And it's crazy because I absolutely love it. My God. Y'all gotta see this. Hey, my name is Cohen Curtis. If you don't know me, I am the owner of Style Undefined, and this is my journey on a vacation to Alaska. So a lot of people have been asking me what it was like going to the last frontier, being very warm-natured, and going to one of the coldest places. So basically, this is just my perspective, my view, my video, my experience of what Alaska really is. So without further ado, here's Alone in Alaska. I leave for Anchorage, Alaska. Nervous, I ain't gonna lie to you. How to deal with all this cold, plane rides. So I guess we're gonna see what happens, man. About to start packing, getting ready for Alaska. Yeah, that goes. Texas, 92 degrees. It's 40 degrees. I ain't no Eskimo. Not bad, not bad. So I get in Anchorage pretty late. I don't have a plan. Again, I didn't plan on being alone in Alaska. So, you know, I go to sleep, I wake up next morning, I head downstairs, I go eat breakfast. That's my first experience with reindeer sausage, and you gotta have it. Okay, listen, if you've never had it and you go to Alaska, first thing you gotta have. Trust me, it's phenomenal. But while I was sitting there eating breakfast, I hurry up and eat because I see there are planes outside on the lake. It's kind of my first experience seeing planes kind of leave and you know, land in the water, and that was really cool. But while out there, I started talking to some locals, and they kind of give me guidance on what to do. You know, through the whole trip, you should do this, 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 and this. If you have time, do this. I really appreciated it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start slow today. And so I head to the zoo, as you can see. And my first experience driving, you see these huge mountains out there, and it's not the first time I've seen mountains. It was beautiful, but little did I know it was gonna get even better. So I head down the road, and then I go to the zoo, and as you can see, I have plenty of fun. There are so many animals here. The ravens were kind of the biggest surprise because they're like crows, but they're huge, man. They're huge, and they're just there, and you know, they're just really big ass crows. That's the best way to put it. But the zoo was pretty chill. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the polar bear because he wasn't out when I went, but it's definitely one of those experiences, as you can see, that I really enjoy. It's kind of a little bit of everything, which kind of embodies what Alaska is. So, day 2 in Alaska. I got my jacket on. I'm about to take a scenic drive, apparently, down the coast from Anchorage to Seward. So excited to see how the view looks. And then I will be getting on a boat and going on a 4-hour cruise in the Gulf of Alaska and see if I can see any whales. That's really what I want to see, but I understand, I guess this time of the year, they might migrate away. So, hey, whatever. I think it's gonna be a beautiful view. Let's see.
I got tears. This shit's so beautiful out here. Look at this shit. That's, oh my God, it's so, God. This shit just doesn't seem like real right now. Like, for real, like, it's just gorgeous. Wow. Got 70 more miles of this. It's beautiful.
So I finish up the drive, the 2.5 hour drive. Just kind of, it was all of Alaska, just kind of built in one. You're driving down, you see the ocean, you see mountains, you see fall foliage. You saw it all in the thing. And I get to Seward, and I get ready to get on a boat. And you know what's really cool is in Alaska, there's a lot of women in like male-driven industries, which I thought was really cool. So the boat was pretty much all women, you know, led crew, very knowledgeable, very friendly, fun, kept the tempo up. When I got there, you know, I want to say the 2.5 hour drive just kind of built up the beauty of this cruise onto the ocean, and it's almost like I couldn't take a bad picture. I couldn't take a bad video. I was in awe, and you almost lose your breath. I even saw a rainbow. It was at one point that like the sun was just shining down on this one land. Everything about that ocean scenic, it was beautiful, and it was almost like, here's an island, here's some seals, here's this, here's that, lots of bald eagles. And the only negative, it was raining pretty hard, so it got a little bit cold. But other than that, a little bit of rocky ocean, I absolutely enjoyed myself. The only downside is because, again, it was winter, Seward was kind of dead, you know, everybody wasn't really out. Which brings me back to the next point. On the way back, man, I just kind of enjoyed, you know, I slowly took it, hopped out, took pictures. Again, it was raining. I get to this one point and I take a small hike. Big reason being, I mean, let's be honest, I was alone. I didn't have any of my guns, anything like that. You know, if I disappear, I disappear. So, you know, I'm taking all the pictures, you know, from the intro. That is literally where it came from. On the way back, just enjoying the scenery, enjoying the atmosphere, enjoying the day. It was crazy because this day was probably one of my favorites. Fun fact, later this night, I'm gonna put up a video. I tried to go and find the Northern Lights by myself because I thought, hey, it's easy. So I'm driving out to Beach Lake because, you know, I read all these reviews and that's kind of the closest one. And it is crazy dark out there. And, you know, I turn off the main highway to another small road, and then I get onto another small road. And this is where it kind of gets freaky, like wrong turn type stuff. I'm literally driving down, as you can see, dark roads, super dark roads. And the blind spot monitor on both sides flashes. I get to the end, I don't even get out, I'm not gonna lie. I dipped, I left. It was the weirdest feeling. And I was almost like, you know what? Northern Lights, not that important. Lesson learned, it is dark at night in Alaska. Dark. Like, high beams don't really do much. So don't do those things by yourself. Take it from me. I got back to the highway. Everything was copacetic. And, I kind of just laid my head down for the night. It's day 3 in Alaska. I'm about to go to the rail yard, hop on the Alaskan train, see some beautiful scenery. My stop will be in Talkeetna, and should get off, eat some food, hike to Mount Denali, and then see where the rest of the day takes me. Here we go. So, head to the train station. I get there. I grab my boarding pass to Talkeetna, Alaska. It's not Talkeetna. You're going to have to forgive me. I was dead tired. The time change, 3 hours, kind of got to me. But we board the train. The train gets going. Everything's great. Scenery's smooth. And then the conductor says, there's a broken down train in front of us and there's a delay. We don't have a time frame. And you're thinking like, great. So I'm sitting there. The cool part is they open the baggage compartment in the back. Got to see that, which generally you don't on this specific train. Not a problem. But this is where I meet 3 friends from North Carolina. So they had been traveling together. They started singing. I called my bro on the phone, FaceTime. He starts singing. We start laughing. We get to talking. They're telling me like, hey, we're going to go see the Northern Lights later. We don't know about the delay. And I'm like, cool. You know what? I'm going to join. We'll make it easy. So it's something I wanted to do. Obviously, night passed and, work out that way. So we get off the train in Talkeetna, Alaska. And, it's a little quaint town. It's full of fun and great food, a nice little vibe. We walked around for a little bit. We, kind of viewed Mount Denali. We couldn't see it all because, it was pretty cloudy that day, which, wasn't an issue. But what was an issue was Alaska has tons of earthquakes. And while we were in Talkeetna, a 4.9 happened. And the train got delayed. So now we're like, oh my God, how are we going to see the Northern Lights? And we're going crazy. We're, trying to figure all this out the whole time we're in Talkeetna. No one knows how long the train's going to be delayed. It was 6 hours. Finally, the train comes back late at night. We make plans to meet, the people taking us out to Palmer to see the Northern Lights. We actually don't go back to Anchorage. We drop off in, I want to say, Whittier. And, he takes us up to Palmer. And, oh my God, the Northern Lights was an awesome experience. I wish I could have got some more footage, but unfortunately, due to tons of delays that were unexpected, I didn't have the camera, but battery life of all that. But I got tons of great pictures that will last a lifetime. And seeing the Northern Lights is something I highly suggest. If you want to do it, go do it. But I was blessed. I was lucky to see them on the first night. Typically, it's not that easy. So definitely, if you're planning on doing it, plan a few nights to give you the opportunity to do it. And definitely plan on the time of the year. Don't go during the summer. It has to be during the winter. But honestly, the craziness of everything was one of the greatest days of my life. So, I can't be mad at that Alaskan Railroad train ride. Day 4 in Alaska. We're going to eat at the Moose Tooth. It's supposed to be a really good restaurant. So I'll update you on that later on. And then I will head back towards Seward. And we're going to do some hiking today. So that'll be fun. So we decided to head downtown Anchorage, and we actually do an escape room before we head over to Moose's too. Not a problem. Head there. I'm a little bit late. Couldn't find parking. I mean, if you know me, you know me, right? Walk in. The owner's phenomenal, family owned, the vibe, it's all good, right? So we end up conquering, you know what I'm saying, the escape room with just 4 people, and get the bonus with like 1 second left on the clock. That was no better feeling. I leave, and I'll post a little video. I get lost. Y'all, this cold getting to my head. I swear. I can't remember where I parked. I had to have a lady help me. It took a while. So I just know. If I got lost in the woods, I'm dead. Don't come looking for me. Just hold the funeral. And if I make it back, I make it back. But just plan for me to be dead. Just sad. So, finally, get to my car. Head over to the Moose's Tooth. I want to say I had pizza the first time. Yeah, I had pizza. I had the meat with the reindeer sausage, of course. It was great. We all hop in the car and kind of head down south to go hike. We do go on a hike, but it's kind of pouring really hard. And, you know, we kind of retire. We don't go too far off the trail because it's getting kind of muddy and the steep, trails, which is fine. It was pretty cool, as you can kind of see in pictures and the videos. We head back. We decide to go for the night on the town to kind of see what Anchorage's nightlife is like, and it's pretty cool. They got a good amount of bars. We kind of mixed it. I actually run into a good friend from Abilene, Texas. I went to college. The chances of that happening, I mean, it's weird, Shout out to McMurray family, but, link up, kind of spend all night out there, which, to be honest, day 5 was nullified. Day 5 did not exist. Day 5 was I needed to recover from everything. My body was like, no, you're not doing it no more. So day 5 in Anchorage was me in my hotel room sleeping. Honestly, my body needed it. Day 5 was rest day, and I knew that after this, I was going hardcore for the rest of the trip until I left back to Texas. It was day 6, slept in a little bit, exhausted from the vacation. I mean, I know it sounds like backwards, but we've been doing a lot because I want to make sure things get done because it could possibly snow. And if that happens, yeah, I'm not doing half the stuff. But I'm going downtown, see the mall, the city life, and so let's enjoy it. So I think it's like day 6, maybe day 7. Not sure. Either way, I'm going to see the Anchorage Museum. It's one of the few things I've been wanting to see. And it's kind of towards the end of the trip. I've made all the big stuff at the beginning and just kind of doing it down and kind of feeling the city life and enjoying the view. Because every time I get out of the hotel, I see a mountain. It's crazy being from Texas, but it's just going to soak in the last few days and see where it takes me. So I head downtown to the Anchorage Museum. I find parking. I get there and I kind of spend some time on the outside because there's tons of like artwork, sculptures, just a little bit of everything out there. It's pretty cool. The building looks crazy cool. So I head inside and I'm greeted and they tell me, you know, we close in an hour, but you definitely want to go see this music exhibit or sound exhibit. So I head up there and oh my God, I am greeted. If anybody knows me, I love music. I walk in, I start playing with things like Morse code. That's dope. You have like local music kind of displayed, local radio stations. It's a little bit of everything. And I'm walking around and I come to this like interactive, exhibit.
Is a sound exhibit. Yeah, like Morse code and just. That's crazy. I'm loving this.
I even got the luxury of being a DJ, which is pretty cool. Heads up, not a DJ, not very good at it, but I did enjoy it, had lots of fun playing with it. This exhibit was probably one of the coolest. I even got a moment to sing. Get down tonight.
Boy, they got karaoke in the music.
If you didn't notice, I'm also not a singer. My one complaint is my lack of thinking this museum was going to be as big as it is, as great as it was. There's 4 stories. I think this one only had 3 worth of exhibits at the time, but 3 is plenty enough. I had to hurry. I wanted to see everything. I wanted to take everything in. The museum is very well put together because there is so much history in Alaska. You know, you got Russia right there, so you got like World War stuff. You got the indigenous people. So that was, a whole exhibit in its own when it comes to like the indigenous people. And honestly was one of my favorite things to kind of see. We all hear Eskimos up in Alaska, but really, kind of give context to the lower 48 as they call us, it's more Native Americans. And, like Seward, you're going to have more fishers and stuff like that. And I just sat there getting to experience it all, the videos that played kind of teaching misconceptions and how, life is, because it's still going on up there. It's not any different. But this museum was probably my favorite all-time museum I've been to. And the fact that I thought I could do it in an hour, I was completely wrong. And I know for a fact that the next time I do go to Anchorage in Alaska, I definitely will have to spend at least a whole day at this museum. There was just so much to do, so many artistic, things in it that were, just kind of all over the place. Like I said, it started with the whole, sound exhibit, which was just blew my mind away. But the art, the exhibits throughout the whole building, like I said, you have regular art, indigenous people art. You have some that kind of show like, hey, I'm this much of an Indian. I can't remember exactly where I saw it, but I just was like, man, I have to rush and see everything in this place. And that was really the hard part. It was saying, hey, I want to see this, I want to see this, I want to see this. And I never really got to take a lot of it all the way in. The music was the one I really took the most in. But I was greeted at the end by this great exhibit called Black in Alaska. And, being black in Alaska, you don't think there's that many. It was pretty cool to see, like, just the social issues they got to deal with, their stories. And, there's a website, and I will highly recommend going to it. It's called blackinalaska.org. Definitely go visit it. All day in Alaska, I'm gonna go to this Aliska resort, go up a tram to a mountain, and food drive's going on, so I'm gonna bring some food, free ride, great cause. So I'm gonna end this trip and then kind of go downtown, finish some stuff up, and get some things for the day. So I head out to the resort, and on the way, I noticed that the lake, or the ocean, I guess, kind of been frozen over. I get there. This resort is super nice. You have hiking trails. You can kind of go out, in the forest, whatnot. And, so I kind of explore a little bit. Then I get to the trolley or the tram, and I start heading up. Not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of heights, but this is the only way to get to the mountain, or at least the top of the mountain. So as you can see, it was actually a very, very beautiful view. And to kind of keep from, hey, I'm super high up, I just kind of stared at the mountains in the distance, and the water and everything. Even when I was on top of the mountain, I looked down and I saw a helicopter, and I was like, ooh, Lord, I am high. But if you can do this tram, definitely do it. The view is spectacular. That's really the only way to do it. On the way up, I saw my first moose. Apparently in Alaska, you're supposed to see a lot of these things. I hardly saw any. I saw the one at the zoo, and then I saw one going up this mountain. Apparently they're pretty dangerous, and for like us Texans, it's deer. Out there you can hit a moose. However, I did not see one. But, so I'm going up here. I'm just kind of taking it all in, back against the wall. Like, funny thing is, like, if something happens, I'm so high up, it really doesn't matter. But, I've kept my composure. I'm like, hey, again, a new experience. I never got to do or think I would do again. However, I get to the top, and it's just, beautiful would be the right word, but there is so much to just take in that I'm just sitting there taking it all in, enjoying the scenery. It was a bit chilly up here, which was honestly kind of surprising. But I think that's because you'll see here in a little bit, there was snow slowly coming down the mountains the more I had been there. And I, kind of peeped it when I was driving out that morning. The only way to conclude a trip to Alaska is on a mountain. So I saw my first bear. So then I head to Beluga Point. It was another point I really wanted to see. Apparently right here, when the whales are around, this is where you would see like beluga whales and stuff. So I really enjoyed just going out here. It was one of my like last things to do. I wanted to see at one point, they have like this high-low tide that just comes in and out. I just never got around to it. But the fog, everything, this was a dope thing. So then last thing, I'm gonna go Bird Ridge Trail, right? There's this trail, and it was supposed to be easy. I messed up and like read the map wrong. I took the hard trail, and I just didn't give up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh, we gonna do this thing. Oh, Lord. So the first trail we did, yeah, it was nothing as difficult as this one. But I can't say I took on the challenge.
So I'm currently hiking up Bird Creek Trail. It's pretty steep, so I'm out of breath, but it's supposed to be a beautiful waterfall up here south of Anchorage, so whew, wish me luck, because man, I'm out of breath. I thought this trail was supposed to be easy, the one we did.
And as you can see, these things were just so steep. I mean, I was almost parallel to the ground at some points.
Whew. I'm a dumbass. It's high. It's not bad though. Whew.
In the end, I decided not to fully go up because it was so steep and I was alone. Again, something happens, no one really knows where I am. I got about 3/4, maybe a little bit up on the mountain, but you know what? I call that a conquer because I just didn't have the equipment, you know, to complete everything.
Another mountain accomplished.
And then it starts to snow out of nowhere. I mean, I really kind of thought that the snow was coming when I saw it earlier, but when it started hitting, it was perfect. I mean, that's the one thing I could not control in Alaska. I could do this, but to see snow, it was like, okay, right at home. I start driving back, it's snowing super hard. I decided to head to the National Indigenous Heritage Center. Unfortunately, it was closed when I got there. So I just kind of stood outside and just took everything in and just enjoyed the snow and this moment.
No, it's not even under 32. That is the crazy part. Oh my God, that's the way to end this. It's time to go back to Texas, and it's crazy because I did not want to even come here, and now I don't want to leave. So this is a lot about Anchorage, a lot about Alaska in general. I will not miss the cold. I will happily take the heat and of course my Mustang, but I want to miss this place, and that says a lot.
Home sweet home. Whew. So, I've been back in Texas for about a week now. Obviously a little warmer. It's about 80. I think when I left Anchorage, it was about 27, 28. Snowing, sunny, big differences. What did I think about Alaska? You know, I took a week to kind of, you know, just settle down, think about everything, and I'll tell you this, I cannot stop thinking about Alaska. This Texas boy's heart was left in Alaska, and that's saying a lot because it's a place I didn't want to go to. I was going alone. I don't like the cold. You know, it really wasn't as bad as I had planned. I will say, once you go, do make some kind of plans, but I really thought I had enough time and I got there. Talking to locals really helped. If you want to see like Northern Lights, don't go in the summer. If you want to see whales, don't go in the winter. So unfortunately, I didn't get to see the whales. So when I plan on going back, it'll probably be the spring. There were a few things that kind of shocked me on Alaska. The earthquakes, obviously, as you saw in the video. I will say that the size coming from a Texan was very, very shocking. Don't plan on going from Anchorage to Fairbanks or Juneau. It's like a 9 or 10 hour drive. I think that was from Fairbanks to like 14, 15 to Juneau, right? So that's not just I'm gonna drive there and back. I mean, you can't do the Juneau one in one day. So if you are planning on going and doing that, plan on staying there and then driving back. The trains, the one thing I didn't realize is certain trains run throughout the year, like the one to Seward. It only does it during the summer. So at first I was going to take the coastal train. I didn't get to do that, but you know what? It worked out beautifully. If you are going alone, be very cautious if you go down trails. You got to remember, if you hurt yourself, how big Alaska is. I didn't take any guns from Texas because it was never planned, to go hunting or anything like that. But, maybe next time I might bring one just if I am alone, just for some kind of safety protection. But when I went to Alaska, somebody told me, hey, just go out, enjoy yourself, and do everything you wouldn't do. And honestly, that was some of the best advice that I was given, because I went out and I found my happiness out there alone. I didn't need anybody else. I did meet some friends, but I'm going on a boat, I'm climbing mountains. I'm just doing everything that Alaska pretty much had to offer. A lot of it I did get lucky, but if you are even considering it, just imagine the best of Colorado mountains if you've been there, West Coast beaches, and a Texas mentality, and you pretty much have what Alaska is. It's a lot of everything and more. And the people there are great. The reindeer sausage is great. I'm already planning my next trip. So do it. Don't think about it. Just go see Alaska. And you know what? I might see you there, because I know that this might have been my first trip, but it definitely won't be my last. So if y'all have any questions, comments, hit them below, and I'll definitely get back to you as fast as I can. But I just want to say thank you for watching my experience in Alaska, and I hope that it helps somebody out there. If not today, maybe tomorrow, in a year. But yeah, alone in Alaska, I can say, was probably the best experience of my entire life.